This is J.W Anderson from J.W Anderson. I'm here to show you the Autumn-Winter 2021 collection, which, as always, we are showing in a different way, and we are continuing our conversation with Jürgen Teller. Through doing this collection, I felt like I was kind of looking back at the past, actually. Many years ago, I did a show called Disobedient Bodies. And when I was doing that show, I was very, very, very fortunate to be able to borrow and meet Magdalene Dondu, the ceramicist, who over the many years I have become very, very good friends with. At the middle of last year, I had this idea of working on a kind of blanket project, this idea of an edition, and how fashion could be kind of compartmentalized into different kind of chapters. And I kindly asked her, and through the process she kindly agreed, to actually take some prints that she had done in Belfast, which is very close to where I grew up, and translate those into hand-knitted blankets and into a woven blanket that we did in Scotland. I was taking the curating kind of mechanism that I had used at the Hepworth. I was trying to work out that, you know, Jürgen became the photographic part of it. Magdalene became kind of like looking at this idea of a personal relationship and ultimately this idea of the body. At the beginning of the pandemic, I was very lucky to have had the chance to go and see an exhibition in between lockdowns and non-lockdowns at Covey Moore Gallery, and I saw an amazing exhibition by Shawanda in which she laid out multiple vessels across a landscape, and they all had kind of titles and names. And on the surrounding wall, there was these amazing paintings. And I instantly fell in love with them. I think it was just really, I have been collecting ceramics for many, 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 many years. And there was something that I have always liked, that the ceramics are ultimately kind of like the vessel, which ultimately holds information, this idea of the body. And I kind of like this idea of generation. You have someone like Magdalene, for me, who really changed ceramics and kind of pioneered new ways in which the ways in which the body could be seen within ceramics. And then you had someone who was younger, like Shawanda, who was exploring on this idea of the decorative and the form, which then kind of brings me back to the collection, where I was thinking, well, this idea of totemic shapes, things that are kind of like elongated or abnormal volumes, or you know, the giant pom-pom as a bag, the kind of knitted jumpsuit which became fluid, or when you kind of look at the jackets, you have this kind of like unfolding aspect to the cotton drill, this idea that the layers are being peeled off. I wanted something which was going back to kind of this experimental route, this idea of color blocking, this idea of boiling things down, so that it was really focusing on this idea of beauty, silhouette, you know, pose. And I think what has been nice in the method of being able to shoot this collection with Jürgen is it actually helps you to focus on archetypes, and instead of overloading, you're trying to kind of like home into a singular idea and explore things that are more precise. And I think because ultimately it is going to end up into a static image, so it needs to be incredibly direct. So I felt like, you know, within this collection, it's ultimately kind of like little chapters that kind of are nearly like rooms within a museum. You know, you're coming close to a silhouette or a shape or a collaboration that we've done. And it becomes a kind of an intimate process. I think this is probably, since we have kind of entered into this new landscape of fashion, I think this is probably the most personal project I've ever done. It's actually probably taken the longest, actually, in terms of development, in terms of techniques, in terms of hand knit, in terms of working with artists. And it kind of, for me, takes me into a new window of where fashion could become. I feel that we are in a period now where we have to work out what future do we want, because I think as things start to collapse around us, we need to try to work out, well, how and what we want from it. And I feel that, you know, by working with an amazing team and everyone at J.W Anderson, I think we've been able to kind of work out a new rhythm which is in our own pace, and it is able to help me and the team digest exactly what we are trying to say in a very complicated period. I feel that, you know, this idea of when we are in a moment where things are moving in a very strange way, it is quite nice to go back to the idea of a silhouette, the idea of the body, the idea of make, and that fashion should be about collaboration. It shouldn't be kind of a linear process. It needs to be something which can be broken up. Well, thank you very much for watching the Autumn-Winter collection. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you very soon. And I just want to take this moment to thank everyone involved in this project, because it has been one of my favorite projects I've ever been involved in. Thank you.